I was thinking about how most of us absolutely hate waiting. Like, even standing in line at the coffee shop can feel unbearable. But the waiting gets a whole lot harder when it's something really important, like waiting for things to get better or for a big change.
Oh, for sure. And the wildest part is when you're waiting on God, when you're praying, maybe even doing everything you think you're supposed to be doing, but everything's just still. It's like being stuck in spiritual traffic with no idea when it'll finally start moving.
Exactly. And honestly, it feels almost unfair because we read all these verses about waiting on the Lord, but when you're actually there, it's just so frustrating.
That's the thing. There's this tension between wanting to trust and just really wanting something to finally change. I've definitely had moments where I've thought, God, are you even hearing me?
So, I love this phrase, God's waiting room. For me, it brings to mind that weird doctor's office vibe everyone's anxious, watching the clock, wishing it would just be their turn.
It's such a vivid picture, right? God's waiting room is that season when you're in a massive hurry to move forward, graduate, find love, start a family, kick off that dream business, but God's just not rushing with you.
Totally. It's like you're tapping your foot, refreshing your inbox, but nothing's coming through, and you start wondering if maybe you missed a cue or a sign.
Or you start bargaining, God, look, I'm doing my best down here. Can we speed this up? But it never seems to work like that.
It actually cracks me up how impatient we can get. I mean, we want Amazon Prime speed on our life changes, but God seems cool with standard shipping or even snail mail.
That's so true. And sometimes it feels like God isn't just running on a different schedule, He's on a whole different calendar. Meanwhile, we're watching everyone else's lives take off and wondering why we're stuck on the runway.
Yeah, and it stings extra when you see friends hitting milestones you're still dreaming about. It's like, hey, did the universe lose my file or what?
And you start questioning, am I praying wrong? Did I not believe hard enough? It gets really personal, really fast.
What's wild is how waiting isn't just about time, it's about all those emotions that come with it, the stress, the jealousy, that creeping sense of being left behind.
Yeah, it can get messy inside your head. I remember a time when a friend got promoted at work, and I was genuinely happy for them, but also I was secretly wondering, what about me? Why not now?
Oh, I've been there. It's like you want to be mature and patient, but your heart's having a full blown tantrum.
That's the honest truth. Sometimes we're just big spiritual toddlers, convinced a delay means a denial.
That brings up something huge. A delay isn't the same as a no, but man, it's hard to tell the difference in the moment.
Absolutely. It reminds me of dealing with kids when you say not yet, but they instantly melt down like you just said never. Sometimes we're that way with God.
And it's so easy to misread the pause. We think, if God really loved me, wouldn't this have happened by now?
But looking back, most of the biggest blessings in my life had a season of waiting, not just a snap decision.
That actually reminds me of some of those epic waiting stories in the Bible. Noah and the ark. He spent years building that boat before a single drop of rain fell.
And Abraham, he got the promise he'd be the father of a great nation, but he didn't even have his first child until he was 99. Imagine waiting decades on a promise like that.
Or Joseph. He had his dreams, and then his life completely fell apart before it finally came true. He was betrayed, imprisoned, forgotten. It must have seemed endless.
Even King David was anointed as king way before actually getting the throne. It's encouraging to know we're not the only ones who have felt stuck in the waiting room.
Sometimes waiting so long just makes you feel invisible, like maybe God forgot your name, or your needs just aren't important enough.
I've felt that deeply. There's this verse in the Psalms where David literally asks, how long, Lord, will you forget me forever? It's so raw. It's comforting, actually, to know even great people of faith ask those questions.
And yet, even when we feel forgotten, there's this promise that God has our names written on his palm. He can't forget us. That image sticks with me.
It really does. Even when it feels silent, we're not out of his sight. That's something I try to remind myself on the tough days.
But let's be real, when you're desperate for an answer and God stays silent, it can hurt. You wonder if you did something wrong, or if your prayers are just bouncing off the ceiling.
Oh, I've been there replaying every prayer, thinking maybe I missed some magic words, but sometimes it's not about us getting it perfect. It's about trusting that God loves us just as much in the silence as in the answers.
And that's tough, especially in those really dark moments where you just want some sign that you're not alone.
That's when I try to imagine Jesus just sitting with me saying, "Trust me, I'm right here." Even if everything else feels uncertain.
You know what's funny? We say we trust God, but the minute we lose control of the timing, it's like panic mode. We want his plan, but on our schedule.
I totally get that, especially now as a parent. Watching my kids whine about waiting for dessert or a trip, it's like looking in a mirror. I realize that's me, spiritually, all the time.
Exactly. And just like with our kids, God's delays are usually for our benefit, even when we can't see it yet.
If only we could learn to rest in that instead of letting the impatience eat us up. It's a daily practice, honestly.
Speaking of daily practice, have you ever wished God would just hand you the schedule? Like give you the whole itinerary for your life up front?
Oh, every single day. But I'm pretty sure if I saw the full plan, I'd totally freak out. God probably withholds the details because we couldn't handle it or we'd try to skip ahead.
Yeah, I'd probably try to edit the schedule with a big red marker. But there's something freeing in just having to live one day at a time, even if it's scary.
It forces us to trust, to let go of the need to control every little detail. That's not easy, but it's where real faith grows.
You know, something I've realized is that while we're obsessed with the project or the dream, God's actually working on us. Our character, our faith, it's like his real priority.
For sure. Sometimes I think God's more interested in who we're becoming than what we're achieving. Like, He'll give us the dream, but only when we're really ready for it.
It's a little humbling, honestly. I've had times where I thought I was waiting on God, but really he was waiting on me to mature or heal first.
That's happened to me too. The waiting room becomes a classroom, and the lessons aren't always what I thought I signed up for.
So maybe the delay is actually by design? Like, it's not wasted time, but time where something deeper is happening inside us.
Yeah, I used to think waiting was just pointless, like a cosmic pause button. Now, I see God uses that space to build trust, grow resilience, and even prepare us for blessings we aren't ready for yet.
It's encouraging, honestly. If I'm in a waiting season, maybe it's because something even bigger is coming and I'm being shaped for it now.
It doesn't make the waiting easy, but it does make it meaningful. It gives a sense of hope that the story isn't over just because things aren't moving yet.
That gives me a lot of peace. I keep coming back to this truth. God's timing isn't just good, it's perfect, even if it doesn't line up with my plans.
Totally. And you never waste time waiting on God. Somehow, when it all comes together, you realize every day in the waiting room prepared you for what's next.
So, if you're listening today and feeling stuck or forgotten, just know you're not invisible. God sees you, He cares, and He hasn't missed a single detail.
And maybe, just maybe, the best chapters are still ahead. All we can do is trust and keep waiting with hope.